Tonight, the world's eyes are on Kuala Lumpur. U.S. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth has landed for the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus. This is no routine visit. Washington is sending a message of commitment and strength to its allies. The region is tense after a recent standoff between Chinese and Philippine vessels near the Second Thomas Shoal. Hegseth's mission reinforce U.S. support for international law and keep communication open with all parties, including Beijing. The stakes are high as defense leaders gather to address security challenges in the South China Sea. Hegseth's packed agenda includes high-level meetings and sensitive negotiations. His words will be scrutinized by both allies and adversaries. The U.S. strategy here is about more than military might, it's about diplomacy and economic cooperation. This visit is a key part of a broader American approach to strengthen alliances across the Indo-Pacific. Hegseth is here to listen to regional partners and demonstrate that the U.S. is a reliable ally. The recent flare-ups have made it clear peace in these waters is fragile. The U.S. is working to prevent miscalculation and de-escalate tensions before they spiral. This trip is a pivotal moment for American engagement in Southeast Asia. The world is watching how the U.S. navigates these turbulent currents. Hegseth's presence is reassurance for allies and a warning to adversaries. The U.S. is committed to a free and open Indo-Pacific. This is about building trust, not just projecting power. The message: the U.S. stands with its partners for stability and security. The future of the region may hinge on what happens in Kuala Lumpur. At the heart of the current tensions is the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, signed in 1951. This treaty is the backbone of regional security, promising mutual support if either nation is attacked. Recent U.S. statements have clarified any armed attack on Philippine forces in the South China Sea triggers this commitment. The October standoff at Second Thomas Shoal put this promise to the test. Chinese vessels tried to block a Philippine resupply mission. Washington responded with strong support from Manila. The treaty is more than words, it's a symbol of a deep, enduring alliance. Decades of cooperation have forged a partnership built on shared values and a vision for peace. Tensions have only strengthened this bond, pushing both nations to coordinate more closely on defense and intelligence. The U.S. is helping the Philippines modernize its military and defend its maritime rights. Secretary Hegseth has emphasized the U.S. commitment is ironclad, not just rhetoric. A secure Philippines is vital for Indo-Pacific stability. By standing firm, the U.S. upholds the international rules-based order. This sends a clear message to Beijing: aggression will not go unanswered. The alliance reassures other regional partners they are not alone. The U.S.-Philippines partnership is a model for collective security. It's about deterrence, not provocation. The treaty's relevance has never been greater. In a volatile region, this alliance is a cornerstone of peace. Secretary Hegseth's mission isn't just about allies, it's also about managing competition with China. Behind closed doors at the ASEAN Summit, Hegseth met with Chinese Defense Minister Li Wei. The talks were frank, focused on preventing conflict and keeping communication open. Both sides addressed recent South China Sea incidents and the risk of escalation. Hegseth pushed for more regular military-to-military dialogue to reduce misunderstandings. In a region crowded with military forces, even small missteps can spark crisis. ASEAN nations are caught between two giants, valuing U.S. security ties but relying on China for trade. They want stability, not to be forced to choose sides. Hegseth reassured partners the U.S. isn't demanding alignment but offering partnership based on respect for sovereignty and law. The U.S. presence is meant to give nations space to make independent choices. This nuanced approach balances deterrence with dialogue. Hegseth's engagement with China is seen as responsible diplomacy. It signals that the U.S. seeks stability, not confrontation. ASEAN's balancing act is delicate, but essential. The U.S. strategy promotes security without demanding allegiance. Open channels with Beijing are crucial for regional peace. The message: talk, even when you disagree. The U.S. is shifting from symbolic gestures to lasting defense partnerships in Southeast Asia. The focus building real capacity among partners, not just temporary alliances. The U.S.-Malaysia relationship is deepening, marked by a new defense cooperation agreement. This includes more joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and maritime monitoring. With the Philippines, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement allows U.S. forces rotational access to key bases. This isn't about permanent bases but about rapid response and interoperability. These partnerships help partners respond to crises and defend their interests. Building trust and interoperability takes time, but the payoff is a more stable region. The US is investing in a distributed resilient security network. This makes it harder for any single power to dominate through intimidation. The strategy strength through partnership, not unilateral action. Empowering partners is the long-term goal. The US is committed to consistent engagement and resource investment. These enduring ties are the backbone of regional security. Together, they form a collective front for peace. The new US strategy is about action, not just words. Joint military exercises like Balakatan and Cobra Gold are growing in size and complexity. These drills test real-world cooperation and readiness among allies. The new US-Malaysia Defense Memorandum formalizes cybersecurity and maritime security cooperation. In the Philippines, expanded EDCA sites give strategic access to key waterways. These moves improve monitoring and rapid response to regional threats. Exercises build interoperability, essential for any joint crisis response. They also deter aggression by showing unity and resolve. The sight of US and regional forces training together sends a powerful message. These drills standardize tactics and create a cohesive security network. The strategic value is clear. They make conflict less likely. The US commitment is visible and tangible. Partner nations gain training and experience they couldn't get alone. As these exercises evolve, they shape the Indo-Pacific's security landscape. The goal, a free, open region governed by international law. Beyond bilateral ties, the US is strengthening ASEAN's central role. The ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus brings together regional and global powers, including the US and China. This forum builds trust and practical cooperation on issues like maritime security and disaster relief. Multilateral military exercises foster confidence and reduce mistrust, even between rivals. The US supports ASEAN's autonomy, working within its framework rather than imposing new blocks. This approach builds goodwill and makes cooperation easier. Southeast Asia's biggest challenges require collective action. By supporting ASEAN-led efforts, the US helps build a resilient, self-reliant region. Multilateralism is maturing, with nations taking greater ownership of their security. The US role, enable, not dominate. The US focus on Southeast Asia is a direct response to China's assertiveness. Beijing's militarization of the South China Sea and harassment of neighbors have raised tensions. The October standoff at 2nd Thomas Shoal is just one example. China's sweeping claims were rejected by an international tribunal, but Beijing presses on. ASEAN's response is cautious, but increasingly assertive, modernizing navies, boosting patrols, and deepening US ties. Publicly, ASEAN calls for dialogue. Privately, members take concrete steps to defend their interests. The US provides security assistance and a reliable presence, leveling the playing field. Washington isn't seeking confrontation, but peaceful dispute resolution. The goal: deter aggression and maintain a balance of power that respects all nations' rights. The US supports regional efforts to push back against coercion. Stability depends on collective resolve. US engagement in Southeast Asia isn't just military, it's economic and diplomatic. American investment drives growth and jobs, deepening regional ties. Economic partnership creates shared prosperity and incentives for stability. Trade and investment build relationships beyond governments, among businesses, students, and tourists. Hegseth's talks in Kuala Lumpur highlighted the need for secure sea lanes, vital for global trade. A safe maritime domain underpins economic health for all. US diplomacy also helps resolve conflicts, as seen in the recent Thailand-Cambodia peace agreement. This shows American power can build peace, not just deter conflict. The US strategy is comprehensive, addressing security, prosperity, and trust. Soft power is as vital as military might. Together they secure a peaceful Indo-Pacific future. As Hegseth departs Kuala Lumpur, Southeast Asia's path is clearer. The region seeks balance, protecting sovereignty while engaging both the US and China. US commitment is a long-term investment in stability. America's steady presence reassures allies and deters coercion. ASEAN's unity and leadership are more important than ever. The region's future depends on collaboration and collective action. Multilateral cooperation is on the rise, laying foundations for peace. Challenges remain, but the groundwork for stability is set. Strong alliances, open dialogue, and economic integration are key. The goal: a resilient Indo-Pacific where all nations thrive, free to choose their own path.